Have you ever wondered why some people rise above challenges while others remain stuck where they started? The truth is simple but powerful. Learning never stops for those who wish to grow. The poor stop learning after school. The rich never do. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden secret behind lasting success: becoming a lifelong learner. Stay with me till the end, because the final insight will show you how education doesn't just shape your mind. It multiplies your wealth. Let's dive in and discover how continuous learning turns ordinary people into unstoppable achievers. 1. Read relentlessly. Knowledge is the quiet architect of transformation. Every book you read is not merely a collection of words bound together by paper or screen. It is a conversation across time, a bridge between minds separated by centuries, and a chance to think more clearly about life, ambition, and meaning. To read relentlessly is to make a vow to the self that ignorance will never be your prison. Books are the mentors that never grow tired, the companions that never leave, and the challengers that never flatter. They will confront your assumptions, refine your judgments, and nourish the soil from which your potential grows. Most people say they don't have time to read, but the truth is, they don't make time. The hours lost to distraction, to aimless scrolling, or to idle conversation could be reclaimed and reinvested into a single book that changes everything. The difference between an ordinary mind and a powerful one often comes down to what it consumes. The successful, the wise, the self-made, they do not read because it is pleasant. They read because it is necessary. Each page is an investment in clarity. Each idea absorbed becomes a lens through which the world appears sharper and opportunity more visible. To read is to engage in mental weightlifting. Every sentence stretches the mind's capacity to reason, interpret, and imagine. As muscles strengthen through resistance, so too does intellect grow through friction with ideas. When you read about business, you learn how systems create value. When you read about psychology, you learn how people think and thus how influence works. When you study history, you learn how civilizations rise and fall, and how patterns repeat. And when you study philosophy, you learn how to govern yourself in the face of adversity. Every book, no matter its subject, is an instrument of alignment, aligning thought with truth and action with purpose. Make reading your daily ritual, not your occasional indulgence. Set aside sacred time for it. Let it be the hour where noise fades and growth begins. Carry a book with you everywhere, because every waiting moment, at a bus stop, between meetings, before bed, is a chance to add a new layer of understanding. Read to discover, but also to remember what you already know deep down, that the mind, like the body, decays without use, and that to live wisely is to learn constantly. Those who stop reading begin to decay in spirit. Their opinions harden, their creativity fades, and their world becomes smaller. But those who read relentlessly live in continuous renewal, always challenged, always evolving. 2. Take mentorship seriously. A true mentor is a compass in the wilderness of growth. They have walked through storms, stumbled on unseen stones, and charted maps through failure. When they speak, they are not reciting theory, they are offering scars translated into guidance. To take mentorship seriously is to understand that life is too short to learn everything through personal error. Wisdom borrowed from another's experience saves you from needless pain and accelerates your evolution. Seek mentors who challenge you, not those who praise you. Flattery is the poison of progress. You do not need comfort, you need clarity. A good mentor will not always tell you what you want to hear, but what you must hear. They will point out the flaws in your strategy, the blind spots in your thinking, and the habits that keep you small. If you listen, really listen, you'll realize that mentorship is not about imitation. It's about elevation. You're not meant to become them. You're meant to become better because of them. Too many people treat mentorship as a transaction, a quick fix, a shortcut, a chance to network. But real mentorship is sacred. It demands humility, patience, and respect. You must come not as a collector of tips, but as a student of transformation. When a mentor shares a lesson, do not nod and move on. Reflect, apply, and embody it. Wisdom unused is wisdom wasted. The mentor provides the compass, but you must take the steps. The Stoics taught that the greatest teacher is example. Observe how your mentor lives, not just how they speak. Notice their discipline, their patience under stress, their quiet confidence when others panic. Often, what they do not say teaches more than what they do. If you can model their principles without mimicking their style, you honor the spirit of their teaching rather than the surface of it. One mentor can save you years of wandering. They can turn confusion into focus, doubt into direction. But mentorship is not dependency. It's apprenticeship. The goal is not to rely forever, but to internalize their wisdom until it becomes your own. Then, one day, you pass that same torch to someone else. That's how legacy is built, not by hoarding knowledge, but by transmitting it forward. Take mentorship seriously, because greatness is not self-made. It is community-forged. Every thinker, leader, and creator stood on someone's shoulders. The difference between those who remain average and those who transcend is often not talent, but guidance. The wise seek it. The proud reject it. And in that decision lies the fate of their future. 3. Study wealth principles. Wealth is not an accident. It is architecture. The rich are not merely lucky. They are literate in the language of money. They understand its laws, its psychology, its flow. To study wealth principles is to move from superstition to strategy. Money, like fire, can burn or build, depending on whether you understand its nature. The first principle is this: wealth begins in the mind, not the wallet. Before money multiplies in the world, it must multiply in thought. Your beliefs about money shape your ability to attract and manage it. If you see money as evil, you will subconsciously repel it. If you see it as freedom, a tool for growth, generosity, and impact, you will begin to handle it with purpose. The poor think of money emotionally. The rich think of it structurally. They see systems where others see luck. The second principle: money rewards value. Wealth is a reflection of the problems you solve and the people you serve. The marketplace does not pay for intentions, it pays for results. To study wealth is to study human needs and the creative ways to meet them. Innovation, persistence, and service. These are the true currencies behind the currency. Once you understand how to create value, you will never be poor again. The third principle: assets feed you, liabilities bleed you. The financially ignorant mistake consumption for progress. They buy things that look rich, but make them poorer. The educated build or acquire assets that grow while they sleep. Businesses, investments, intellectual property, real estate. The goal is not to work harder, but to make your money work harder than you. Wealth is not earned through effort alone, but through alignment, when energy, capital, and knowledge move in the same direction. Financial freedom is not a dream, it's a discipline. Learn how cash flow works. Learn how debt can be both a tool and a trap. Learn how to invest, not speculate. Learn how taxes shape incentives and how inflation steals from the unaware. The more you know, the less you fear. The more you apply, the faster you ascend. Ignorance is the most expensive burden in the world, and millions carry it quietly. The study of wealth is not about greed, but about mastery. When you understand money, you control it. When you misunderstand it, it controls you. 4. Learn from failures. Every failure is feedback. The average person quits after a setback. The learner extracts the lesson and grows stronger. Don't fear mistakes. Analyze them. What worked? What didn't? Growth begins where excuses end. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the foundation on which success is built. Every great achiever, from inventors to philosophers, has been shaped not by their victories, but by the lessons carved into them by defeat. The Stoics taught that misfortune is not a curse, but a teacher. When Marcus Aurelius faced repeated military losses and personal grief, he didn't crumble, he reflected. He asked, "What is within my control, and what is not?" That single question transforms failure from humiliation into information. You learn to stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" Every time you fall short of your expectations, you're being handed a mirror. That mirror doesn't show you your worth, it shows you your gaps. It reveals where your understanding, patience, or discipline failed to meet reality. And that is invaluable. The pain of failure is the tuition fee of wisdom. The mistake most people make is refusing to pay it. They try to skip the learning by making excuses, blaming circumstances, or retreating into comfort. But the learner leans in. They dissect the experience piece by piece, searching for patterns, causes, and insights. This habit, turning failure into a case study, separates growth-minded individuals from those who repeat the same year of experience 10 times and call it a decade. True mastery is built on a mountain of small defeats analyzed with honesty. Think of a scientist. Every failed experiment brings data. Every hypothesis proven wrong sharpens the next one. Life operates the same way. Each time you fail, life gives you information. Feedback about your preparation, your assumptions, your focus, your habits. You either use that data or you discard it, but ignoring it guarantees stagnation. It is through reflection, journaling, and questioning that failure turns into fuel. Ask yourself after every loss, what signals did I miss? Where was I impatient? Which emotion clouded my judgment? This is how setbacks become stepping stones. Fear of failure is the enemy of innovation. It's the mind's way of protecting the ego, not the soul. The ego dreads looking foolish, but the soul hungers to grow. When you shift from ego protection to truth-seeking, you realize that failure is simply feedback in motion, a signal that your current method isn't aligned with your goal yet. Yet is the key word. That single syllable transforms despair into determination. It means the story isn't over, it's evolving. The Stoic Epictetus wrote, "Difficulties show what men are." When you fail, you meet yourself, the unfiltered, unpolished version of you. You discover how much resilience you have, how quickly you adapt, how deeply you believe in your purpose. 5. Upgrade thinking, upgrade income. Your income rarely outgrows your mindset. When you expand your thinking, you expand your earning. Learn to think bigger, smarter, and faster. Challenge old beliefs. The greatest investment you'll ever make is not in stocks, it's in your mind. Every financial transformation begins as a mental one. The gap between the rich and the poor is not merely a gap in resources, it's a gap in reasoning. Wealth flows toward those who think creatively, strategically, and long-term. The poor think in survival. The wealthy think in systems. One mindset seeks comfort, the other seeks growth. And this difference in thinking, This invisible software of the mind determines every visible outcome in your bank account. Your income is a reflection of your problem-solving ability. The more valuable your thinking, the more valuable your contribution becomes to the marketplace. Average thinking produces average results, but when you train your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles, you begin to attract abundance naturally. This is why the first step to higher income isn't a new job or investment, it's a new level of awareness. You must expand what you believe is possible for you. You cannot earn beyond what you think you deserve or understand. Every limitation begins as a belief. If you were taught that money is scarce, that success is luck, or that ambition is selfish, those ideas form a ceiling on your potential. You'll sabotage your own progress to remain consistent with those subconscious scripts. Upgrading your income requires reprogramming your mental framework, questioning every inherited belief that keeps you small. Ask, who taught me this? Is it still true? Does this belief serve me or limit me? True wealth starts with mental liberation. When you upgrade your thinking, you stop trading time for money and start trading ideas for value. You move from being a worker to being a creator. You begin to recognize leverage, the ability to multiply your effort through tools, systems, and people. This is how thinkers outperform laborers, not by working harder, but by thinking clearer. They understand the compounding power of knowledge, networks, and innovation. The brain becomes the ultimate capital, one that never depreciates when used. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "The greatest wealth is a poverty of desires." This doesn't mean rejecting money, it means mastering your relationship with it. To upgrade your income, you must first upgrade your emotional intelligence around wealth. Many chase money out of fear. Fear of scarcity, fear of judgment, fear of being left behind. But fear-based motivation creates short-term gain and long-term exhaustion. True prosperity arises from purpose, value, and self-mastery. When you think abundantly, you stop clinging to money, and that detachment ironically attracts more of it. Thinking bigger is not about greed, it's about contribution. The wealthiest people solve the biggest problems. Elon Musk didn't make billions selling products. He made billions solving problems that matter. When you shift your focus from "how do I make money" to "how do I create massive value," your thinking aligns with abundance. Education compounds wealth, not just in money, but in mindset, confidence, and purpose. The poor stop learning. The rich never do. So keep reading. Keep seeking mentors. Keep evolving. Because the day you stop learning is the day you stop growing. Be a lifelong learner, and your success will never stop expanding.